Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're giving our first impressions of Lockup, which is a game from Thunderworks Games, and it's kind of in their role-player universe.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know,
Same
kind of
artwork.
generic fantasy, some people call it, but I don't know. I really like the world. I know some people are just like, it's kind of like not the most interesting. Do you not like this and cartographers?
Are they somehow connected or what?
Well, they're in the same universe.
So they're just like the same
role
artwork?
player. I think so.
Okay.
I mean, technically,
Is that all it means? Is that they're the same artwork?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They are interacting with each other.
I don't know how cartographers,
And Stone Spine Architects,
and the other ones.
Role player adventures. A lot of their games, a lot of the Thunderworks games are in that. I don't remember. I think it has a name. I don't remember what the world's name is. But
yeah, kind of just like the D&D fantasy theme, I think is.
Much cooler than D&D.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so this is a game that I think originally I played with Jesse on Tabletopia, like a long time ago, and then played it again, a physical copy, like what, 3 years ago now.
Yeah. It wasn't on your 30th, right?
I can't
you
remember.
And Taylor or Jesse played it
I feel like
after
that was
the tournament one time.
Yeah, I feel like that was. Yeah, I don't remember. And then we just recently played it here again. It was the first time you had played it.
Yeah.
But I had been very excited.
I was scared after the 3-hour playthrough of it. I was like, what?
There can be some AP depending on the players involved.
And there shouldn't be. My gosh. I can't believe that took you 3 hours. I was like,
I know, that's why I'm like, every time I bring it up to play it, you just gave me a look, and I knew why you gave me a look.
I'm talking about you, Taylor.
Wow. Taylor's the one that did it. Because it does say 90 minutes, but I don't remember. Did our game take 90 minutes? 2 players?
Oh, man. Yeah, probably.
It maybe took that long.
Because I had to learn it, and maybe a little less, but...
Yeah. But it's kind of, I don't know, a resource management game with a...
Weird.
I don't want to call it bidding, because it's kind of bidding, but it's kind of not. Kind of majority area control, where you have these different valued, tiles. I'm just going to call them workers, but tiles that you put out in different areas of the board that can gain you different either resources or actions, and you can play some of these upside down, which I think is the part of this game that maybe makes it different than some other ones I've found, and that's one of those things in a game that I've really enjoyed, and that's why I wanted to get back to it, because I find that really fun. And in a 2-player game, you actually get to do one additional one. I will just say now, I think looking back, or playing it again there, I wish that it was just, I think it's typically 2, and in a 2-player game it's 3 you can have upside down. And I think, you only get 6 of them, so half of them are upside down. I think I would have rather it stayed at 2, just to give you a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Because, I really enjoyed that, but then, like, making the decision of which ones do I flip upside down would make it a little bit more difficult than being able to do half of them.
Sure.
And I think that's the part that makes it fun, is deciding, do I put my face-up ones out first? Do I do some of them face down first? Because if you go, there's like 7, 8 different areas on the board. Once you've gone to an area, you can't add to it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all different values, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then some variable ones, some other things that you have. So if you've put your 3 down in an area, that's all the larger it's going to be. So if you play that face up, your opponent's going to know, okay, I just got to put a 4 there, and then I beat it. Or you can combine, you can put as many at a spot as you want. So you could put your, 3 and 1 there if you wanted, or however you wanted to do that. But then if I placed it upside down, you could be like, well, it could be anywhere from that 1 to the 5. So what did he put there? How badly does he want that? How bad do I want that?
Yeah.
'Cause some of them, too, give you rewards or things for coming in second, so you don't necessarily have to be the most.
Right.
So sometimes it might not matter to you, but other times you may want to have the most.
Yeah. Which I think is probably one of the more interesting things about it, is like the ones that don't give you something if you're second are like much more like the focus, I think, but the ones that It's nice that they split, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is like you don't have to get every single one, because if you get second, there's at least something for you in certain ones.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then if you go into something, you don't get anything, you go to this last spot, which is library, which kind of can give you cards that give you special abilities, allow you to do some things, which I find good, that there is something, you get something for not getting something somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not ideal if you don't get something all along, because no matter how many you get in the library, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can also choose, if you did win something, you can choose to send them there instead of taking the second place reward, or I think even technically the first place reward.
Doesn't really help you when it's like a sequential resolution of like the different areas, than if you really needed something and you don't win it. It's like, all right, well now all of this is just done.
Yeah, I could see that, but I think that's another part that makes it work, is you know which order it's going in, and that first one that's determined can determine tiebreakers, which can be very important as well. So I really like the sequence of what's going on, and you're getting points by getting goons and kind of exchanging your resources for artifacts. I find this one really enjoyable, and it'd probably be one that I wouldn't mind playing with, 3-4 players every now and then. I don't know that I play it always, especially if it's a bunch of people with AP. I've tried to be better about it. But this one definitely, when you're like, oh, what would the opponent put there? And you're thinking about multiple opponents and how badly you want it, because I think you use another side of the board, so I think there's more rewards. It just makes it much more thinky, because like you said, once you miss something, that whole thing after it can be messed up, so you got to be thinking, if I don't get this, then how am I going to make up for it?
I will never. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I really like this one. I'd probably give it like a 8.25, maybe up to an 8.5 on good days.
Wow.
I really like what this one does. It stands out from other games for me. So
that's true. It's definitely.
We have a lot of Euro games, so I don't know, tend to see ones that feel different to me than everything else that we have as, I don't know, a little bit more.
It's definitely different. It definitely holds its own as like kind of its own thing, and doesn't really get too locked into that.
But I would say that the resource turning into something is very you see that in a lot of games. So it's the setup that is the interesting hook to me.
Part. Oh boy.
I know you did not love this one.
I didn't. I gotta be honest, I'd probably give it a 5, maybe a 4.
No?
It's fine. It's sort of intriguing, but this is the start to finish. It's just not it. For me, I don't know how better to describe it, but I don't enjoy the thinking about what other people are doing at the table with their numbers. That is so hard for me, and it gets to a point where I'm just I don't care. I'll just put something out there, see how it works. Doesn't always work out, and best pattern when I try and think it out. So. It gets frustrating when I think it's going to go one way and it doesn't, and whatever. So the whole game I think I spent just trying to mitigate things as best I could. Maybe try and go for stuff that you weren't going to go for specifically, so I could try and get something.
I feel like there was this one action that you went for every time.
And you never
And I never tried to challenge you on it.
Nope. Which was okay, but then the one time you went there, I was like, sure, now he's gonna do it.
I just wanted to mess with you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you did, because it's fine. I think I do think there are really unique pieces to this game. I would say that piece of the sequential thing is really interesting. So there's not bad parts of the game. It's just not something that's in my wheelhouse of enjoyment for playing. And you talking about playing it with more people, I do not have a lot of patience for sitting around a table waiting for people to think out their turns. So if it would be unless you would have to have your turn figured out when it's your turn, and I would not be able to sit 5 minutes waiting for you to do your turn, because that would mean it'd be 20 minutes before it got to me. Wow. If there's 4 people.
Oh, no.
And I I wouldn't do it. I would be
Yeah.
like, no,
That-
no.
That is the thing about this one is with more players it will get longer just because you can't. I mean, just at some point you can sort of plan it out, but since that player is going to put something onto the board, add some, who knows what action they're going to add to. Then the next player is going to do something in reaction to that. Then the next player. So in between each one of your turns, especially if it is at 4, it can go up to 5. So potentially 4 players in between you. A lot can change on the board, and even just the person before you could change your decision significantly. So
I mean,
it's
even
not
if
like
it's 2 minutes, you're looking at like 10 minutes in between turns.
that's true. It would be a long game. I probably wouldn't play it like a ton at 4 or 5 players.
Yeah.
Probably like 3. The 3-player count I think was probably the sweet spot maybe.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of games.
It was long for us, but I think that was Taylor's first time playing it as well, and I don't know. Me and Pepper probably haven't played it in like a
Jesse has
year.
analysis problems.
It might be Pepper. He might have caused everything.
You might also have had analysis paralysis.
You weren't even there.
Oh, I know.
You know.
If other people at the table have AP, then you don't feel bad about having it, so then you'll take it too.
I'll take every bit of time that I can.
Yeah.
But we should have an unboxing of this one if you want to check that out. I think I have some upgraded components. I don't remember if I actually filmed opening those.
Wow.
So, the nice tile pieces versus cardboard.
Will it be in the B-roll footage of this?
It might be. So, yeah, hopefully you will have seen it throughout, potentially.
If you
Otherwise,
still
we'll
do.
have to play this one again just so that I can get that footage.
Let me call Taylor.
You do that. But yeah, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for future content, future Thunderworks games, reviews potentially at some point in the future, and see if Mac has come around on the next one she plays.
What are you talking about? Cartographers is one of my favorite games.
But I think you like Stone Spine, so
I
you were
do like
supposed
it.
to like this.
I also don't like Role Player. 2 for
I
2,
don't-
guys.
I
2
don't-
for 2. Thunderworks, if you're watching this, come on.
I don't get it.
Get it together.
You play D&D, and the best part of D&D is creating a character, and that's what Role Player is.
Well, we'll have to play the game and review it for the people.
We will have to. But otherwise, we hope to see you on our next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.